as much money as good as the competition allows you to make based on this bar.
Why do you care about competition? Who is my
But
competition?
you are as good as the competition, supply and demand, basically. If
You can create your own demand. You can create your own supply. Competition is just a benchmark to see what's in the market, but you should not really worry about it because you're better than your competition.
Well, that's in the customer view. You're not looking from your viewpoint, you're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
But from the customer viewpoint, it may be different.
And that's why you have to offer the best to your clients so there will be no competition.
That's the perception.
That's the idea. That's the idea of a successful entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
That you are in a niche that's why being nichey is very important.
Yeah.
That you are a niche by yourself. Like Pamela, she will be the only one doing organization development in the way she does it for lawyers. Where is the competition? Why would she benchmark herself with someone that is less than her? Again, mind shift, people. Mind shift. Yes.
I was
Erica.
just going to say one thing about service and being paid a fee. I've done event planning, and you have to have a fee, and that's your fee, and you don't stray away from that. This is what I do. This is what I charge. If you don't like it, then you can.
You're
shop
not my
somewhere.
client.
Yeah.
And I'm not your
This
sub.
is-
And I'm
this is
gonna
what I get paid.
exactly. I'm gonna share a story with you. When I first started, my husband works for LA County. When I first started, I presented a proposal for an. Do we know what an RFP is? Request for proposal. So I sent the RFP and I tried to make my fees as small as possible. My husband told me you're wrong, and I said no, I'm right. And I sent it. I did not get the RFP. Do you know why?
Underperformance.
Because
Had a
they
budget.
perceive that because my cost is low,
Wow.
I offer mediocre services. Now that I have been working with the county for the last 3 years, I put whatever I need to put and they take it because it's their perception that because I'm expensive, then I'm doing the... And you know, people tell me, you are expensive. And you know what I tell them? I'm worth it.
I'm worth it.
With conviction, I'm worth it.
Yes. You have to know your own value.
Exactly. And you have to believe it. Not only know, but believe it and project it. That's branding. That's branding. Okay? Like you can see, I'm very passionate about what I do. I really am. And I believe I will never share with anybody that I share my experience with something that I did not do. Ever. It's one of my core values. I will never tell you something to do that I did not do. Okay? So satisfaction, one of why people want to be entrepreneurs, satisfaction to making their own decisions. I don't want anybody to take a decision for me. I want to make my own decision, right, wrong, or whatever. I want to do it. The second one, have the freedom to make my own rules, which is basically the same thing. You need to achieve your dreams that you know you're not going to be able to achieve in a job. You have a bigger dream to do that. Hate what you currently do. Hate your boss. You know, we all had that. I heard it too. You want to reach your full potential. And also, you are in entrepreneurship because you want to make more money. Because there is no limit for you. You don't have a cap on your salary. And let me tell you something. The first year, prep year, before the 2011, when I was preparing 2010, you know how much I made? $250. My third year, I made $250,000. So that's what I'm saying, because I started being fearful of ask for the money that I want. Yes.
I just wanted to say, like, for what you said, reach your full potential. One of the things that I've come across lately is like, and part of reaching my full potential and putting this business plan together, I've been able to estimate my projected net worth, which also helps me to reach my full potential because now I know what my potential net worth is. Now I have a reason to even drive my product, to even drive
Exactly.
further in that sense. So.
One of the things that I ask the small business or entrepreneurs that come into my office at SBDC, I ask them, so how much do you charge? They tell me, I charge $90 an hour. I'm like, great, based on what?
Right.
Oh, it's just, I look at the competition, and I'm like, but based on what? You can be charging $90 an hour and losing money.
Yes.
because you did not calculate your expenses. And I had to learn that. You calculate, if you work from home, you calculate part of your rent, your company insurance, your driving, your car, your light, your computer, your if you pay someone else to clean the house for you, your clothing, your gas, everything needs to be calculated. Your cell phone, your fax, your printers, your ink, everything has to be calculated and then divided by 12 months, and then divided by 52 weeks, and then divided by how many days you want to work. And this will give you the minimum that you can charge. Absolutely. People start the other way around. You need, first things first, you need to, so this is your homework. Next time you come, when we meet, we are going to meet in 3 weeks. So I want, yes, in with me. Next week and the week after is with Vernon for the business plan. But I want you, so you have time, I want you to calculate every single expense that you have, including your dry cleaning and your lunch.
For the business that we're thinking.
For the business that you're thinking.
Do you have any
Business,
resources online that can help us
is
with
that
it?
business expense?
Yes. I might find some to email. I can email it to JB and she can email it to you. Yes, Cheryl.
Can we break it up into like startup costs and then operational, or is it just the startup?
What does it cost for you to go out and do your business? Startup, already business, whatever it is. Because, for example, I work from home. We have a room in the back, and it's only an office. So it has my desk, it has my fax machine, though it's obsolete. It has my printer, my file cabinet. It has my screen because I do my videos there. It's like a little studio where I do my training in there, you know. And so I take the third of the mortgage. We have 3 bedrooms. Third of the mortgage. Third of the insurance we pay. Third of the taxes we pay on the house. Third of the utilities. Third of the phone, a full cell phone. You know, depreciation of the car, gas, washing cars, washing your clothes. All this is calculated. And you calculate by month or by year. And if you calculate it by year, you divide it by 52 weeks. But we don't work 52 weeks, right? So you divide it by 48 or 49 weeks. And then you divide it, how many days do you want to work? 5 days, 4 days? And then you divide it by 8 hours a day. That will give you your rate per hour, how much the minimum should be. And then you add your profit, 20%, 30%, 50%. Do we have a better idea how to calculate our wages?
Yes.
Because the biggest issue with entrepreneurs is how to calculate their fees.
Can you just go through those figures one more time?
Sure,
Write it down.
sure. You write down all the expenses that you have. And that's why you have time. Whenever you think about something, write it down, right? And then it could be, are these expenses per month or per year? For example, the insurance that you pay for your company or your organization is a 12-month thing, unless you pay monthly payment, right? So you take either the monthly payment or the year payment and divide it by 12. So if you have a monthly payment, a monthly expense, you multiply it by 48 or 39 weeks. It depends how you want to have it per week. And then per week, you divide it how many days you want to work in the week. And then you divide it by the number of hours you want to work in a day. Yes.
Most insurance companies, if you have a business, they want the whole year.
I pay per month.
Do you?
Yeah.
I've
I have State Farm. I have liability for consulting company, and I pay per month.
Wow.
Yeah. They're very good. Yes.
I thought you had said you divide the 48 by 49 a week. Then you just said multiply, so I'm confused.
No, I was talking, there are 2 ways to do it. You can calculate the full year. If it's easier for you to go the full year, and then divide it by the number of weeks you want to work. Then you divide it by the number of days you want to work.
Right.
Then you divide it by the number of hours you want to work. And that will give you a kind of rough idea what is the minimum you can charge per hour. Okay?
That's just for yourself.
Just for yourself.
This is for yourself.
without your profit, without your expense. This is will cover your expenses.
Okay, I get it.
You know, because your expenses can be
Yeah.
$89 and you're charging $90.
Right.
So you're making $1. Good luck staying in business. And you know what? If you go to someone and you give them a proposal and they tell you, do not negotiate, ever. When someone tells me, can you bring it down? I'm like, I'm sorry, but what I can do is this. I offer them an added value. Let me offer you a webinar at the end for free.
Wow.
That
okay.
costs that much.
That is serious.
But do not negotiate your prices.
Got it.
It's your brand.
Two things. You said you requested for RFP, request for proposal. I just wanted to know a little bit more about that. Is that just for what you're setting us up for when we ask for funding? Or
RFP is like, for example, let's say you want to do something about working out and all that. So you know that corporate wellness is a huge subject these days.
Yes.
So you will have LA County that will push a request for proposal for people like you that will do a wellness program for them. Like when I got this program, the city of Pasadena had a request for proposal out, and many people applied for it.
Okay.
But I was the lucky one that got the proposal.
We're the lucky one.
We're right. We're the lucky
So it's
ones.
not when you do it's not only the price that you put, but also what kind of services and added value that you offer.
so the community has just pushed out a service demand, and we just when they push out that service demand, we just seek it out and write up how we can fill that gap with our own. Okay, and then the last
usually
one.
give you guidelines.
It gives you exactly
They give you exactly guidelines.
what do they need to be covered.
Okay.
And, different companies set their, how they're gonna do it. Let's say we wanted to teach these classes. So we put out a detailed proposal. We want this, and these are the results we expect. So Sahar's company sent in, like, answered all the questions in a format and supported documents and all of that and the cost. Another company did the same thing. And what we do, we sit with them, we sit with the different quotes we get and we rate them. So every company does things different. What you can do, you have to keep your eye on what's coming out.
Yeah,
So
that's what I was
there's-
like, how do you-
Yeah, you just Google.
Research
And so there are actually the state has a website like BitSync where you can go and subscribe on whatever. We're gonna talk about that when we come, right? As we go, you can subscribe. What are your NAISC codes? We're gonna talk about that. Don't panic. And and depending on what you say your specialty in, you receive the RFPs every day.
Okay.
And that's how I get my RFPs.
And now,
That's
okay.
how I grew.
And then the last one.
RFP, request for proposal.
And the last.
Oh, I'm sorry, request for prices or proposal, right? Yeah,
The last thing you said, you started up with
Or
zero.
prices.
zero.
Donut. Can
Zero.
you tell me
I promise you, zero.
about that.
What do you want to know?
How do you do that? Like, I mean,
You know how I built my business? I built my business on LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
I did. And blogging.
Oh, so you just it's just okay. You sold yourself really good on on what you.
I always sell, because you know why? Because I know my brand.
Right.
I was very clear on selling my brand.
Okay.
Yes, Stormin, one second. I'm coming to you, Tracy. Yes.
One of the things about like starting with zero down is like my theory was like it doesn't cost to pick up a pen and a piece of paper and start writing the ideas down. And
It costs your time.
and so then what happens
Right.
is like some of like the administrative things like are really easier to get together first than like going in thinking like you have to have like all of this elaborate stuff to get started. It can be just something simple, and then you put that together, and then you gain the resources and the information that's necessary to help build it and make it bigger.
We're going to talk about that in the last session, which is the licenses that you need to, and someone from the city of Pasadena will be talking to you about that. I'm going to give you a blueprint. Like, this is what you need to do. This is the website you need to sign up to because it gives you this. This is the license that you need to do because it gives you this. This is, you know what I mean? You're going to go through all that. Yes, Tracy?
Are we going to go over blogging, like when
Yes, in social media. Yes, in social media. The biggest way that you can actually show your authority and your knowledge is through blogging.
On YouTube?
No, blogging.
Blogging.
Blogging is like writing an article.
Mhm.
It can be anywhere from 300 to 1,200 to 1,500 words. And we're going to talk about the platforms where you can blog. Don't worry, we're going to cover all that in social media. So there are certain myths that entrepreneurs have or other people have about entrepreneur. The first thing is build it, and they will come. Doesn't work anymore. They used to tell you whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
No, it doesn't.
Whatever happens in Vegas is on Google. Okay, remember that. Your reputation online is very important. Who Googled their names? You need to Google your name at least once a month.
I do it all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you need to. This is your reputation. You don't know what people are saying about you.
Yes. If something is negative, that has.
Drown it. Drown it.
How?
You have to keep producing new content that it
So
drowns
the
it
whole
down.
life goes to the
Because
bottom.
people don't go after the first page on Google.
So-
So if you drown it down 10 steps, you're okay.
Will you teach us how to drown?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Okay, you
Start
said
today.
How to drown it?
acknowledge it, like you mean
Down in
if
the right.
we're Googling and we see a couple of negative, opinions or comments, you say drown it like.
It depends. Is it about you personally or is it about your company? If it's about your company, I will engage with that person.
Well, you are the company, so I guess what I'm saying is, instead of drowning, wouldn't you look to see if there's a pattern of the same thing?
We were
Somebody-
talking about personal thing. If someone doesn't like you, they can write something about you. But if it's for your business, the biggest advice that I will give you is to engage with that person and make it right for them. Because that person can become your best evangelist. Yes.
Being in technology, we've had a client for reputation management, and what happens with competition, they'll intentionally say bad things about that company so people will look at their company instead of their competition.
But how many you will have positive versus negative?
Yeah.
Because everybody will have something negative. There is no way. This is one thing that we're going to talk about. Do not go out there thinking that everybody will like you and will get you with open
Right.
arms. It's a myth.
Okay.
You will have your people and you will have not your people. And it's okay. You will not be the cup of tea for everybody. And it's okay. I rather have that, so the people that are following me or liking me buy my product or my services than the people that just gonna have chaos and noise around me. Yes.
Something that hasn't been said too is, I don't know how many people talk about what they want to do, but there's going to be people that are always going to say, why would you want to have your own business? That's ridiculous. This is not the year for that.
That's
Do
the
you know who
naysayers.
do you know who the president is? This is going to be the worst year of economy. You have to be
I
very
started in the worst
careful.
year of economy.
You have
And
to be
people told me that.
careful.
People told me that you're never gonna succeed.
Yeah.
Companies do not have money for consulting and training. It's
So
not
by,
true.
by posting those positives, as you were saying, the drowning, we have customers that are saying good things about our company that are doing posts, which is drowning the
But this is not the
negatives.
only thing to do. I'm just
Okay.
giving an answer for that, but we're going to go into details. But the success of an entrepreneur is in their perseverance. I do not give up. I just don't. My mentor, when I started when I was young, told me no doesn't necessarily means no. Keep pushing, you'll get a yes. And a no now doesn't mean no forever. Yes.
Why did the myth die? Why did build it and they will come? Why did that die? Why?
Because you
why
have
did that-
social media now. Because there are so many tools where you can attract. Remember, we're going to talk about that in marketing. Marketing used to be push. So the companies will just do their stuff and it will go. Now it's a pull market. You have to establish your credibility, your influence, your authority, so you can pull people to you. It's not the other way around.
Engagement.
Engagement, yes.
In my observation is, with the opinions, the suggestion, a customer would only like on Yelp, they would report if something is not good. So customers sometimes, if they are satisfied with the product, they don't they don't usually make the comment.
There is a
sometimes.
kind of protection now on Yelp because remember, if you go and put a negative, you can be sued.
Yes.
So people are a lot more careful about
Yes,
that now.
yes.
So, and even on Yelp, if someone doesn't like something, I encourage you to go and talk to them.
Yeah.
I am so sorry this happened. This is not what our brand. This is not what we stand for. How can I make it better for you?
Yeah.
You
yeah.
tell me how, and I'll make it happen.
That's true.
And you show others that you are good at your customer service, that you care about your clients. Actually, that can be actually, how they say it, something in disguise, a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
You know. So the second myth is I want to be my own boss. Every single client I work for is my boss. Like today, City of Pasadena is my boss.
Okay, every client is your boss.
Every client is your boss. You work on your own schedule.
Yeah.
Right. Now, you work as your demand. The more you grow, the more you will have to work.
Remember what she said, she never works on weekends?
Yeah, exactly. But I don't. You know why? Because I established a system. I have my inventory. When I need to do entrepreneur, all what I have to do is to go to my inventory and pull slides together, and it's done.
All right.
The last time I checked, Saturday is a weekend.
Yeah, exactly. For me, yeah. So this is what I'm saying. You know, I hardly work on weekends, but this is something really big for me that I wanted to do. And also, you need to appeal to everyone. No, you don't. You need to appeal to only your niche. Again, jack of all trades is master of none. And they say, when you market for everybody, you're marketing for no one. Remember that. And websites sell themselves.
No.
No, it doesn't. And people go to get this website that have all the bells and whistles, and I rather have a functional website that has the proper keywording, that has the proper Google ranking, than something that has all these bells and whistles. We're going to talk about that in social media. And then the biggest mistake entrepreneurs do, like on LinkedIn and stuff, and their business card, is calling themselves president, CEO. Don't do that. Because people will laugh at you. You are one person. Who? President of who? CEO of what?
President of myself.
Don't do it. Put your expertise as a title. Trainer, consultant, advisor, whatever it is that you do.
I put on my operations director.
That's it. That's a good one. You know what I mean? Don't put president and CEO. People, and I have a lot of businesses that come and they actually fight with me. No, I want to show everybody I'm a big corporation. You're not. And it's okay. And it's okay. You know, I went to an RFP to LA County. You know, I was a finalist. You know with who? With USC.
Wow.
So it doesn't matter if you are one person or 100 people.
Right.
It's about what services do you offer and what branding you put into the market.
What about founder if you're doing something that's more
If it's a nonprofit, I understand.
okay?
But if it's a business,
Yeah. Right. Okay.
So you said,
you can have it in your bio,
Okay.
but not your title.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So if I wanted to have a bed and breakfast, I'm gonna title myself hotelier or
Hotelier.
Oh, okay, hotelier.
Hotelier.
Or owner.
Or hospitality consultant.
Okay, hospitality.
Yes.
How about an evangelist?
What do you mean an evangelist?
He's being sarcastic.
Broad.
Evangelist as a pastor? No, because evangelist has a lot of meanings.
Yeah, I mean, the evangelist of something you are, pushing your business.
So are you like a brand maker?
Yeah,
A marketeer? You can have all that.
could be any of those categories.
It can be
after
any of that.
Yeah.
You know? Yes, Juman.
I wanna see if you agree with me. One myth that's becoming huge is that all entrepreneurs think when they see bids or proposals or work,
They're not going to get it.
these companies are only gonna hire big names.
They don't.
Which is not true. I'm gonna give you an example. When I was traveling a couple months ago, I happened to be at dinner with a bunch of people, and then the owner of a multi-global national retailer out of the Middle East was at that dinner. And then we started talking about what we're doing in the United States. And the first thing he asked me, he goes, would you consider training staff? I said, well, of course, because that's what I do.
How much do you pay?
And exactly. And then, you know, next thing, you know, and then the conversation, well, the second day, these people are calling me, sending me email, they want training, and I'm like, I'm looking who the trainers are. You know, I'm looking at the big global companies out of England and out of the United States that like Accenture and Deloitte, and I'm like, JB Consulting and Training, hello.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Do not put yourself behind walls.
I tell you what sold him. What sold him is that people come and they say, well, we're trainers, we are corporate trainers, we train on everything and anything. And all we were talking about is that how I'm helping this small nonprofit organization in a third world country grow and teaching the team strategic thinking.
And what does that say?
Niche.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's all he goes for 3 years. I don't want to go with big. I just want somebody to be on the level from my retailers to my executive directors and simplify strategic thinking, because people think, when you say strategic thinking, everybody thinks that's only a job for the managers, which truly is not.
It's not.
So, yeah, when I talk about something.
The nichier you are, the more money you make. Because you know why? Because you become a specialist. I don't like the word expert. I don't like the word guru. Too hypey for me. Specialist. Specialist. Like you pay more for a cardiologist than you pay for a general practitioner.
Right.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
So think about yourself like the cardiologist.
Specialty.
A specialist. That's what we need to dig in, your specialty. And let me tell you, each one of you will have something unique about them. So when we're going to talk about unique selling proposition, and I'm telling you, warning beforehand, I don't want to hear I offer good customer service. I don't want to hear I have better prices. I don't want to hear I have great product. That's not, because it doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't. And it won't do anything for your customers. I want you to dig deep. What is it that is special about you that people will buy? You know why I do cultural competence? Because I sell myself. I lived in 7 countries. I speak 5 languages. I travel to 55 countries. I open offices all around the world. What else do you mean? That's what makes me unique. Mm-hmm. No one can compare to that. Wow. That's what you need to know. What is unique about you?
Right.
Okay? I promised you this course will be different.
Yes, it is.
So what are the risks that you take as an entrepreneur? Alienation. Because in the beginning you work long hours. You have, like Erica said, your friends that will make fun of you. Guess what? Time to cut them out of your life. You don't need negative. Whoever doesn't support you, goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. No looking back. In 1 year, 2 years, you will be here, and they will still be here.
Can I share something with you that I learned 15 years ago? People will usually be right where you left them.
Absolutely.
And it's so true.
Absolutely. You'll be here. They will always be here because this is their personality. So the cash flow can be a challenge, especially in the beginning. The fear of losing the capital that you put, because your time is a capital. So the loss of time. That life will throw curveballs at you that you don't expect. So not everything will go the right way that you want it to go, but you need to expect that. Yes, Mark?
One of the problems I had with my first company was that it wasn't a cash flow problem, there was a problem keeping up with the business, which created The cash flow problem.
So you need to outsource someone that will take care of that for you.
Yeah.
Like, for example, instead of, like when I started my new business, it's a coaching business for women. When I started, I wanted to create a logo. I can create a logo, but it will take me 5 to 6 hours, you know, to play around, to do this. There is, I don't know if any of you know a website called Fiverr.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I did my logo for $5. If I had put 6 hours, that's around $2,000. So $5 or $2,000. You need to make the decision. Don't do your QuickBooks if you still have to learn and it's a learning curve. Hire someone and pay them $100 to do it for you.
Yeah.
$100 is a saving. Because what you put as 10 hours, compare that to the $100. But entrepreneurs look at it in a different way. No, I cannot do that expense. It's not an expense, it's a saving. Mind shift. Mind shift. Okay? What else? We have the challenges, money or the lack of it, that you want to do everything by yourself. Go for the people that know and let them do it for you. You know, you can, believe it or not, find people that can do virtual assistants for $7 an hour. Hire them for 2 hours a week, $14, $20. And let them put your mailing list together, your database together.
Wow.
Hire Pamela to do your organizational skills. Not that you make $10, I'm just saying. You know what I mean? So hire people, outsource whatever you don't need to do by yourself. Interns. Interns are free. Go to colleges.
Yeah.
Ask for interns. Working alone can get you stressed and alienated.
Yes.
So you need to know that, believe it or not, the best productivity that you can do is to break every hour on the hour. No matter how concentrated you are. Because after a while, your brain gets stuck into a certain level and doesn't produce anymore. Even if you just stand up and bounce. Bounce and breathe. Because when you breathe, you give oxygen to your brain, so your brain becomes more productive. Productivity. Right, Pam?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Right on time.
Getting wrapped in your own ideas, we talked about that. Procrastination and perfection, and we talked about that as well. Having ideas, not executing them, being impatient, being forceful, and doing only what you want to do without being flexible and listening to others. Be insensitive to others, especially if they are your family or your kids, and you snap at them because you're not getting me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
No, they are there. They are paying a double price that you are, because they are there to support you, and that's important. You can get bogged down in details, and that's why it's always good to look for outsourcing. There is freelancer.com, there is odesk.com, there is fiverr.com. All these sites can do the little projects for you, and they do a good job. Can be too critical or finicky, you know, that's part of the perfection. And you can be, being an entrepreneur, you have to become thick-skinned. Everything needs to roll over you, like this. If you're gonna listen to every critique, consider the source. I'm gonna tell you something. For example, when I was doing the books, I had another cover. And my husband came home and he goes, "You're gonna have this?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "It looks like," I'm not gonna use the word. And I'm like, "Okay, what do you mean?" I thought it was good. He goes, "It's not." So he helped me recreate some, but if it was a long time, my feelings would have been hurt.
Okay.
It's just like, oh my God, you're attacking my creativity, and I spend time, and no, I need, you know what, here's my husband, he's the one that looks for me, and if he tells me it's not good enough, it means it's not good enough.
Right.
That's the only, so I recreated the whole cover. Flexibility, adaptability, and listen to people. You can learn from a 5-year-old.
Yes.
You just have to be open to learn. And don't take everything personal.
Yeah.
Look at it as it's your way to grow. This is the only way to grow, to listen to other people.
What about having a degree? I'm sorry. Chris.
Go ahead.
Are degrees important when you're?
I have a medical degree. Tell me, how is it helping me now?
Say no more.
Yes. Yes,
I
Mama.
need to say something on that, because for years and years and years held me back of progressing myself, because I felt I don't have title yet. I don't have a degree, so I can't charge, I probably can't charge when I feel I know that I work. Because I had two particular clients, the one that a big commercial, you see the commercials all the time on TV about a college. And when they called in and asked about my services, I explained what I would do and how I could set them up. And this person that I spoke to, great, that was fine as an administrator. The president of the company walked by and saw me, and all of a sudden he wanted to speak to me personally. And he called me in and he said, we went through and we researched and we looked at a lot of professional organizers, that's what I called myself at the time. And you're significantly higher than the others. What gives you the right to charge more than these others do? And I didn't have a degree, I had behind my name, I didn't have initials, and I kind of slumbered, and I hope that that's something that we'll learn how to really come back at. Because he said, what gives you, in other words, what do you think you worth that?
And that's where your unique selling proposition comes in.
And what I said was, well, I'm not a regular professional organizer. I said, I organize businesses and I specialize in law firms. He said, well, we're not a law firm and I'm not an attorney. What makes you give the right? So I learned from that to where it doesn't, it's not, and then I had a coaching or someone speaking like she did, and she was saying how having degrees or having initials after your name, a client could care less about that. They want to know how you can help them.
That's true.
How you're going to serve them, and correct me if I'm wrong.
You're right.
But that taught me from that to where knowing what the client needs and servicing their need. Because I felt this little when that man said that to me, and I shouldn't have let him reduce me down.
But you know what that's called, Pamela?
No, what?
This is called self-limiting beliefs. This is in you, it's not in him.
Yeah.
No one can make you feel anything.
That's true.
You make yourself feel things.
Yeah, I did.
You
And
know,
I learned
so
from that.
thank you. So we need to get out of that self-limiting mentality, the fears, the self-sabotage ideas, setting ourselves up for failure. We need to, and believe it or not, the biggest weapon against all that is gratitude.
And not giving up, because I didn't give up.
Well, gratitude is what doesn't let you give up. You are like, if I was in your position, I'm like, thank you so much for letting me think about that this way. Now I learn next time how to do it. Shift, mind shift. So what your character is to have the courage. We said the most important part of, I heard Les Brown, he said it. You need to be hungry all the time, no matter how much money you make. It's about hustling. I hustle every single minute of the day. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt, are we here until 11?
I know we are only till 11, but it's just like I want to finish this before we go. So
I thought we was
First class 2 hours.
first class 2 hours.
You know, that's what we look for when I try to identify team members or staff. We're looking for staff that are hungry, that really wants or has a passion. So we believe that hunger should be in everyone.
This is part of the mistakes that you should avoid as an entrepreneur. So I'm going to discuss a couple of mistakes with you, and I see it in some of my entrepreneurs. They go and hire a PR agency that they pay $3,000 to $4,000 a month, and I know it does nothing. Nothing. Because if you don't know your brand, no one else will.
Right.
Going and spending a lot of money on advertising when you don't even know what your brand is.
Wow.
It's waste of money. Okay, hiring the wrong people, being distracted, not having a plan. I always believe this. If it's not on your calendar, it's not going to be done. Like I go through a course right now, I'm going through a course. I have it on my calendar for the next 15 days, half an hour in the morning, no matter what I do, this half hour is to study that course. It's on my calendar. Okay? So before we wrap up today, I want you, based on what we discussed today, like I said, this is only an introduction to let you, give you a feel of what's coming up. You have a plan of action at the end of whatever you have. And by the way, this, you should bring it every single time with you, because with every class, we're going to give you whatever you need to add to your folder. Okay? And bring your names with you, because the people that are going to come, they need to know your name to call you with that, right? So the plan of action is this. I want you to think about one behavior that you're going to change, or mindset that you're going to change to be a successful entrepreneur, and 2 things that you're going to do that change, and who's going to be your accountability partner. Accountability partner. Write it down.
Accountability partner is like a
Who's going to keep you in line to do whatever you need to do?
Can we choose you?
You can, but you have to tell me what you need to do.
If someone one for behavior to change, 2 for action today.
2 skills, yeah, to do. And remember, everything starts and ends with you. You are the master of your universe. No one has power in your life except you, unless you let them.